Welcome to this next video for General Chemistry Review. In this one we're going to talk about atomic structure. Now there are a lot of different theories in history about how an atom looks, for lack of better terminology. What makes up an atom, where particles are located inside of an atom. For simplicity right now, I'm not going to get into all of those. I'm just going to talk about the different particles that we talk about when we talk about atoms and where they're generally located. So, let's start with in the nucleus. And when we talk about the nucleus for an atom, it's just like the nucleus for a cell. It's the central core of an atom. And just like a cell in biology, where all the DNA and such is stored inside the cell that determines who you are, all the information that determines an atom's identity is in the nucleus. Now, what do I mean by identity? Well, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. This is one of our periodic tables. I'll turn the brightness down a little bit too. Sorry about the glare on there. Alright, well, this is one of the periodic tables that we have up here in Academic Success. And as you can see, somewhat, there are lots of different elements on our periodic table. This one actually is updated up through 116 here, Livermorium, which is one of the newest ones named. So what the difference is between, say, sodium and magnesium can all be found in the nucleus of an atom. So what's in there? And let's say that these are the orbitals. We'll use the old cartoony way of looking at an atom for now. Draw this out a little more. In nucleus, we find protons and neutrons. And to make my life easier, I'm going to call protons P plus and neutrons N0. Those are the only two things found. Turn the brightness down a bit more now. Those are the only two things found in the nucleus, as far as we're concerned. When you get higher up into physics, you can talk about the little particles that make up protons and neutrons. But we're going to stick with just those two for now. Protons have a mass of 1 AMU plus 1 charge, and like I said, found in the nucleus. Protons define Protons define the atom. If you change the number of protons, you've changed the element you're looking at. So this is what's the difference between two different elements. All right, this tells you what element you're looking at. Neutrons also have a mass of 1 AMU, and these are both approximations. Neutrons are a little bit more mass than protons, but we're going to just use some rounding to make things a little bit easier for now. Zero charge, and help determine the mass of an atom. The atomic mass of an atom is just protons plus neutrons. Not sure why this hasn't. There we go, a little bit better. Alright, so protons, mass of 1, plus 1 charge in the nucleus. Neutrons, mass of 1, charge of 0, also in the nucleus. And the sum of those two make the atomic mass. Outside the atom are these tiny little particles, usually represented with dots, that we call electrons. Which again I'm going to call E minus. Now this is according to what we called in Regents Chem when you took that in high school, the wave mechanical model, what we call in general chemistry the quantum model, located in areas of probability outside of nucleus. Their charge is -1, and their mass is 0 atomic mass units. So these are so very, very small particles that they do not affect the mass of an atom. So keep this away from electrons. What these do is they determine the charge of the atom or the ion. And we'll talk about atoms and we'll talk about the difference between those in the next video. So these are the three things that make up an atom, where they're located, what we use them for. And like I said, the next video we'll talk about atoms, ions, and what we call isotopes. So I'll see you there.